let's just talk about residential real estate. If you want to invest in residential real estate, or maybe you're already investing in rental property, okay? So how do we protect those assets? Well, one of the things we want to look at when it comes to rental property is whether or not the asset itself, the rental property, the real estate asset, has any that you're going to buy, whether or not it has debt on it. Okay, so that's one of the things we're going to look at, whether or not there's debt on the property. And the reason why we want to look at to determine whether or not there's debt, because that's going to, for some of us, determine how we protect that property. Because if it's paid off and you own it outright in your own name, you can transfer it into any entity you want. And I'm going to draw all that out there. But if there's debt on the property, or if you're going to be buying property, residential real estate, and you're going to be using financing, then that could impact the strategy I'm about to share with you. And what I'm talking about there is what is referred to as the due on sale clause. Some of you may have heard of this before. And what it means is that if you have a house and there's a mortgage on it, okay, then there's typically a clause in that agreement that states if you transfer that property into an LLC like this, then the lender reserves the right to accelerate the note. Now, this is in most mortgage agreements. When you're out there dealing with traditional brokers, you're going to find that in there. So the concern for some people is, how do I get my house into an entity to protect it without alerting the bank to the fact the property's been transferred? Okay. And so I can tell you this, most banks aren't going to look. They're never going to know. So you can take that property, you can dump it right into an entity, and it's not going to trigger the due on sale clause. But if you're concerned about putting it into an entity, then keep in mind, as we're going through here, and I'm showing you how to properties and LLCs, you may want to use what's called a land trust here.